Hello and welcome to episode 38 of the Yarnivore podcast. I am Sadie. I will be your hostess. I'm also known as Blue Rune on Ravelry, Sadie Rune on Twitter and Instagram, and I think that's everywhere. It's Sadie Rune everywhere, it's not Blue Rune, and that's just because Blue Rune is usually taken. Now, I have a giant wet thing in my lap, so we're going to start with that, because it's still moist. I finished this. And it still smells very sheepy. It's got the sheep smell. I finished this, which is not going to show off very well again because it's still moist. The Dirty Martini cardigan out of Handspun. This is all into the world. There are 5 different braids, I believe, in this. You'll have to check my Ravelry page. All the information is there. All the ends are woven in. I wait to clip them until after I've blocked things. Like I said, I finished it last night after I finished the second sleeve, which was the sleeve that didn't end. And then I immediately put it into soak, which it did. And it has not dried in time. I thought it would because it's been ridiculously hot, but today it is not ridiculously hot, it's just regular hot. So if you hear a fan, that is why. Just regular hot. Not ridiculous, Sadie might melt. But that is always a possibility when we get into the ridiculously hot. I am wearing my Bury Me With My Stash t-shirt from Ghostler Designs. There's a little I think it's a grease stain there. I don't know what happened there. I don't know what I did. I'm gonna have to figure out how to get rid of it because I'll keep staring at my boob otherwise. So that was my finished object. That's all I've got for finished objects. But hey, it's a cardigan. I win at the world for finishing a cardigan. Unless we get into finished objects for spinning. But we'll put spinning in its own little section as we often do. And plow into the works in progress. There's Bebop. Hi, Bob. Hello. And even though it's ridiculously hot, he has to wear his sweater. You gonna come say hi? He's not gonna come say hi. But he is going to stand there and look cute. Maybe Mom will entertain him. She's sitting over here. You can see her actually in the mirror there. I don't have a stalker person. It's my mother. She's doing some cross stitch over there on the bed.
Come on up, Bob.
Did you? I didn't even notice that till now. You are actually in that mirror.
That's crazy.
They can't see you. All they can see is your arm and your hair. Oh. Here. Say hi.
Hello.
Okay. Stay. I apologize for anyone who might be motion sick if that made you motion sick. Sorry. Turn this way. There we go. Back in frame. So Mom will be cross-stitching over here. She has absolutely no knitting to show, and I keep slapping my leg. It's okay. I'm wearing pants. They are capris. So the slapping of skin is just natural because my calf is exposed. And I always put a foot up. So, works in progress. In my Schnuffeltier bag, which I love. You can find her Etsy store. I believe it's linked to her account of Schnuffeltier, which is Tracy, the host of the Pasho Knit Spinner podcast. As we enable people to knit socks like the crazy. Because I finished a cardigan, right? Is it a cardigan? Is it a top? Is it a jacket? What would you call it? I don't know. I'm going to call it a cardigan even though there's no buttons. And I think I'll just get a shawl pinny thing to close it. Because that's all it really needs. Or maybe I'll get one of those jewel things. I don't know. It's going to be big and it's going to be comfy. And those are my 2 requirements for cardigans currently. So, I haven't touched this in a little bit, but I dug it back out because I really want to make it. I took it to SSK with me because I was like really thinking I would get some time to work on this because I am not the smartest pumpkin in the patch. Although if you do watch the Dyer's Notebook with Jinx Yard, you will see me knitting my stripy socks. And you'll see me off in the corner doing things occasionally because we hung out a fair bit, and the stripy socks and the brioche shawl are basically all I worked on. And I don't think I've touched the brioche shawl since last week. I didn't bring it in because I didn't think I worked any on it. But I have worked some on this. There, close-up shows you a little bit better. There we go. This is the first stripe of the winter wheat cardigan. I'm going to call it a cardigan. I don't care if it's not. We're going to go with the cardigan theme, and we're just going to keep running because it works. So, as you may recall, the winter wheat is a striped cardigan. I did not bring my iPad in here, so I cannot show you what it looks like. Bad podcaster, no cookie. But it's a striped cardigan. It requires four colors. So this is my first color, which is, as you can see, very speckly, heavily speckly. The orange is showing up way brighter than it actually is, but it is a very bright orange anyway. This is a 1x1 twisted rib, which is what you start in. This is the Run Through the Jungle colorway. It's Knitter's Nightmare Batty Sock. And the other three colors I'm using are the Toxic Green. They're all Knitter's Nightmare Batty. Undertow, which is the blue. And Old Leaves, which is the brown. And I have 2 skeins of each of those colors, and then 1 skein of this. I am going to cut out the arm portion for this colorway and just change it up to a different one because I didn't want to have 2 skeins. I think it's 20 yards is the difference, so whatever, we're good. We're good. And in my bag I have 1 of each of the skeins balled up, so this is actually quite a substantial bag. She does make a good bag. And if you're in the UK, if she's from the UK, well, she's from Germany, so it's probably cheaper to ship for you and her if you're a Brit. So that got some work last night while everyone was sleeping and I couldn't sleep. It's a story of my life. Everyone sleeps while I'm awake. Actually, I think you might have been awake because you were liking stuff on my Facebook. But she was in her room and I didn't want to wake her. She was in her room, so she liked stuff on Facebook and I was knitting in the living room. In the kitty cat bag, which I got at SSK, which has the kitty cats with the ball. Yeah, because I needed to start something in it immediately. It heavily required. Oh crap, I lost my taggy thing. I had a tag. I did have a tag, but it's gone. I'll find it again. It's not imperative to the story here, but it's... I'm going to screw up something now. So these are 2.5 millimeter needles. They were a gift from Schnuffeltier, the lovely Tracy, who is at home with Tim right now. And I am knitting the hedgerow mittens, which are a very simple mitt. It's just this pattern all the way. See, it's a knit purl kind of rib thing going on, and it goes all the way up, and there's a thumb. There's no fingers to it. It's just literally this plus thumb all the way up. These are for my husband, and before you balk, he knows how much pink is going on in here, and he doesn't give a flying fart. Flying fart. See, I did that just for you. And any other mothers who may be watching.
Thank you.
So, he does know how much pink is in here. It looks really nice. It's got great stretch. It does call on the pattern, which is free, so I can tell you this. It calls for a US 1 2.25 millimeter needle, which is what I usually knit with. But the 60 stitches means it's, I know how big that's going to be in my gauge. And I think that'll be too small for my husband. Now for the men's, it calls for sport weight, but he wanted it out of fingering weight. So I went up to a 2.5. I split the difference. And this is in the Suiting Up colorway. by another crafty girl. I don't remember what base this is. I think it's the Strong Sock. She will correct me, or someone will correct me. It's the 80/20 Merino Nylon blend, and this is the Diva character from Overwatch, which is why my husband wants it, because he honestly plays her, I would say, a good 50% of the time. The other 50% of the time he's playing Junkrat, whom I also got. Actually, no, it's probably, maybe it's a 25, 25, 25. Well, no, 33.3, because he also plays Mercy, which I have to get. But I've already said that. Anywho, I digress. It's a gaming household. This is Diva. It's one of the three he plays the most. And I believe she's a schoolgirl who hides in a robot. She suits up into a robot, and honestly, he plays that a lot. She's got an exploding bunny thing. Or Junkrat, who has a wheel with spikes that he sends out, and he blows things up. He's really quite bomby. It's a cross between World of Warcraft and, like, Borderlands would be my best comparison. But there's no questing, you just go in and you fight the crap out of stuff. So I'm working on the first one. He did request that this portion here be longer than on previous mitts. It calls for 4.5 before you hit where you start increasing for the thumb, but I think I might actually go for 5 or more, because he wants it to, like, fit securely under his coat, whereas his previous fingerless mitts, which are just like wristies that go up your finger, they're not long enough so that when he reaches or something, or he moves, there's exposed skin and it gets cold, and I don't know what he's going to do in Canada, because he's going to freeze to death. I'm going to have to make more durable things, I guess. But that is on the needles, so he is a very happy person, because he likes it when I'm knitting stuff for him. I don't have any new socks on the needles. I will be getting new socks on the needles momentarily, within the next couple of days here, because of the finish of the socks. But I'm doing the fingerless mitts, which feel like a sock until you hit the thumb gusset, so I'm running with that for right now. I have 13 out of the 16 pairs I need for 2016, or 16 pairs in 2016, which I'm doing with Tracy of the Passionate Spinner. I may as well just, there should just be like a tag for whenever I refer to her. You could turn it into a drinking game. Apparently I have hiccups. So that is the knitting I've gotten done, but really I have to say, the spinning bug, I told you it was coming back. It came back with a vengeance. It is not to be denied. And I think that's from taking the class with Maggie Casey and really wanting to explore what she had shown us. And I talked about it last week, and without destroying my little table set up here, here's the thing I knit out of the samples we did in her class that I was talking about last week. So this one we spun and Andean plied and barber pulled. It was the first I learned how to Andean ply. I feel very secure in myself. And then over here, this one, the blue-green, was 2 different types of spinning for it. So the first one in here, we tried spinning directly from a specific color, and this one we spun in the web. Don't know that one very well. This one in here is a double fractal, and it looked like hell. It looked like hell in the bump, but it actually spun up and knit up quite nicely. The green here was just a palette cleanser, if you will, of Navajo plying. And then this portion on the end is actually these 2 colors combined. I took one little bit of this and spun it on top with this, and this is what I got. You can't even tell there's orange in it very much, and there's a lot, very prevalent orange in there. It also brings out purple, which you don't see a lot of in the blue. It's there, but you don't see it very much because it's blended away, whereas in here it really shows up. So and I'm not doing the class justice at all, but you should just go and take it is what you should do. So those are my swatches, and after having done that and knitting them up and seeing how the different ways of spinning the rovings really affected the outcome, I've been spinning a lot. So this is the finished Rambouillet. This is the first draft in the road trip colorway. It's 4 ounces of Rambouillet. I Navajo plied it. It is probably going to be a sport to DK, and I got about 300 yards. I have not washed and thwacked it. It has not poofed and bloomed. It will poof and bloom. I am kind of being lazy on that because I wait until I have a couple to do before I wash and thwack them. And I think my mother might have thrown out my soak when she cleaned the kitchen, which is a double-edged sword. Do you complain that you don't complain that the kitchen got cleaned, right? But still, I better order some more soak today.
I don't remember throwing it out.
You may have thrown it out because it looked empty, but it wasn't.
No. Okay.
Soak looks empty, but it's not. You can still get a few washes out of it. I'm frugal. This is what I just finished. Did I just finish spinning this? Yeah, I did. I finished spinning this while Mom was here, and I've started on another that I'm not going to show you because I didn't want to take it off of the Hansen, because I'm partially I'm lazy. I don't like rethreading it, and partially because I didn't feel like bringing it in here. This, however, is 4 ounces, and I just wound it off to see how much yardage I got. So I'm not going to take it off here and make it into a cute little skein just yet, because I like them to rest on the knotty overnight, just to rest. I give it a lot of resting after it's been spun and plied, not before. I may not give it a full day of rest as a single. I may ply, which I know you shouldn't do, whatever. But then I'm going to let it rest on the bobbin and on the knotty. So this is 4 ounces. It is called Happy Accidents. It's a BFL from Spunky Eclectic. It's part of the clubs back in the day when I was in the club. I'm not currently in the club, but I'm not in any clubs. I actually stopped being in Into the World. I stopped being in Spunky. I really feel the need to just not be in clubs right now because they're problematic for me. I build up stock and then I don't use it all. The only club I think I would consider is the Gales Art Club, and missed the boat on that one. So the sock blank club, because her sock blanks are the bomb. That's probably the sock that I'm going to cast on next, is going to be my sock blank, just so you know. So that's what I did for spinning, which is a fair amount of spinning if you stop to think about it. Crap, I didn't bring in my quilting either. I've been working on my brother's quilts. Well, they'll see your butt. It's fine. They don't have to see it.
Yeah.
See, if she walks out that way, you get a good butt view. And she is wearing pants, but we are all very concerned with how we are portrayed on camera. So there will be no random walking back and forth. My husband is the only one who does that and gets away with it. He did that on one of my floss tubes, I think. Or was it my whip parade? He walked past and I had to stop and go, "Dear, were you wearing pants? I don't want to refilm. Just tell me you were wearing pants." He was like, "I was wearing pajama pants." I was like, "Okay, we're good. We're good." Because everything else is... Yeah, no. So there is the Canada Cal. We are still getting pictures in for that. And remember, it's a Canadian yarn or pattern. You get extra if you do mine. Awilda, I'm calling you out. You have to go put your name in again because you knit out of my yarn. You get 2 if it's out of my yarn, and 3 if it's my pattern and my yarn. And you can just go, this is my second entry for this pattern or whatever, just so that there's a place marker for when I do the random number generator. There's Petrie. Hi, Peep. Peeper. Peep, peep. Peep, peep. Hi, Peep, peep. She's like, "Yeah, I'm not putting up with you. Goodbye." Goodbye. So, do post your pictures in there, and for every 20 people I will add something to the drawing. Currently we have one prize. If we hit like after 20 people, it'll be 2 prizes till 40, and then there'll be 3 after that. You get the gist. And that's in the Yarnivorous Ravelry group. You can find the Yarnivorous Ravelry group. You do have to be a member. That's the only requirement, is that you be a member. And I was going to tell you about the Canada Cal. That goes till the end of August. Till the end of August you have. So if you just started, I think I might, now that I have my 2 skeins of Murakami and I've dyed up the I Am No Bird for it, I might start the True Friend cardigan, but I have to do a swatch. And we all know how much I hate swatching. Swatching and we don't talk. I've done it for the winter wheat because I had to, and I realized that I have to again. It's just I don't want to, because there's waiting involved. I'm not sure if you understand how impatient a person I am. I'm really impatient. So, like, swatching, washing, blocking the swatch, and then, like, being all measury do, and deciding which... Yeah, no, I hate it. I hate it. I am a bad knitter. I don't want to do it. Just don't. Although, maybe if I just go down a needle size and pretend everything's okay. Can I just start knitting the pattern and call that a swatch? But then I have to frog it if it's wrong. Too many thoughts. Anyway, where I was going with that is The True Friend by Vera Valimaki is found in the Inspirations book, and if you're knitting anything from Inspirations by Joji Locatelli or the Vera Valimaki, the Passionate Spinner is doing a knit along for that, which I believe ends at the end of August or something like that. And there are prizes. Prizes are always good. So if you're knitting if you're knitting from the Interpretations books by Vera Valimaki and Joji Locatelli, then you should go over there and put it in, because hey, prizes. But I want to knit that cardigan really. Or that's a pullover. It's a sweater. But it will get cold here. It will get, like, to the point that I will wear a sweater with, like, no jacket. I hear it's cold here. I think people are wrong. It does not get cold here. It gets chilly, but not cold. Lastly, I wanted to show off a present that came in the mail from my friend Pam. She, oh, there's the tag. I can tell you, it is Strong Sock. I'm going to throw it in the bag, so I have it in the bag. I knew I had it. Strong Sock. The Suiting Up colorway. Can't go wrong with another crafty girl. My friend Pam, actually from back in Minnesota, whom I love and adore, sent me these to cheer me up, because, of course, it is a sad time, and she understands, because she well, not so recently, but recently, within the last couple of years, lost her, one of her puppy babies, Kobe, who is adorable. So she sent me, this is actually my fiber that she spun. It's the Venice on the Bump in the Night base, and it's approximately 350 yards, and it is beautifully spun up. I've spun some of my stuff, but I don't think I didn't spin Venice, but Venice looks really nice all spun up, and she does an amazing job of spinning. Look at that. Like, she's the spinner we all want to be when we grow up, because it's so even and balanced. Mine is not that even and balanced. I've been spinning for forever, but seriously, not that even and balanced comparatively. Like, I've got, like, all kinds of sizes. She's got all these, like, they're all, yeah, superior. We all know Pam's superior. And she sent me this gorgeous bag, which I find funny because it is a nice big bag, and I said I wasn't getting small bags anymore, so she must have heard me say that. But it is a gorgeous big bag with these lovely little Victorian tea, Look at the little family of owls living on her hat, it looks like. Like, how can you go wrong with that? It's ridiculous, and I love it. And they're kind of like gothic, steampunk, Lolita kind of things going on here. Like, I love this girl, too. She's pretty cool. There's cherry blossom trees inside, which is awesome, because who doesn't love cherry blossoms? So maybe I will put the true friend in here. It's got a little owl. So that is gorgeous. I love the little owls on her hat. I think it's on her hat. I'm going to say there's owls on her hat. And she's just chilling, being all cool with it. And this one has antlers. You know, it's adorable. So thank you very much, Pam. I've already sent you a message, but I'll thank you again because it's awesome. And I think that's everything I've got for knitting. I think we are going to be going into Seattle next week when the hubby has some time off. We're going to be going to a cross-stitch store, and I'm sure we'll hit a yarn store on the way there. At least one. There might be one or two. I don't know yet. I don't know. It's far easier to convince my mother to go to a cross-stitch store than a yarn store. I'm not exactly sure why that is. Possibly because I spend more money in one of them than the other. But I have been very good. I have gone into yarn stores and not bought things several times. I feel like that warrants some sort of prize. However, I am blissfully pushing out of my head the amount of stuff I purchased at SSK, if you can't tell, which I have hidden in that closet. Anywho, I will be back next week, hopefully with lots of update for you. There will be no shop update this week because, of course, I am not dying right now because Mummy is here, and Mummy takes precedence. There is stuff, however, in the shop. If you enjoyed the colorways of last week, there's like 1 or 2 skeins. So, there you have it. I will see everybody next week. I hope you have a great week of knitting and spinning and etc. Bye.